7點半。係。我家一路檢查，一件衫一件。好。
各位亲爱的球迷朋友们，欢迎来到台南亚太国际棒球场训练中心。这场比赛是2026年第10届世界杯女子棒球赛台南分组赛，将由委内瑞拉主场。This is the game of W.
Well, some 57 hours after we were initially scheduled to get underway in the Women's Baseball World Cup Group Tainan, we are finally ready for baseball. And Game 1 pits the newcomers Great Britain against the Pan American champions in Venezuela. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be joining us from. Finally, baseball set to get underway in this 2026 WBSC Women's Baseball World Cup Group Tainan. My name is Andrew Reynolds. A pleasure to have your company tonight. And as I mentioned there at the top, 57 hours ago, that's when these two teams were meant to meet up on Sunday morning. It was meant to be a 10:30 local time start. 2 days ago, here it is 7:30 local time on Tuesday night. And there you see the forecast. It's gorgeous at the moment, 86% humidity, 27 degrees, but more importantly, the rain has subsided. If you have not been following along the last couple days, more than 300 millimeters of rain have fallen here in Tainan, and it has certainly thwarted the efforts of getting baseball underway. But glad to finally have baseball headed your way. There you get a look at Eva Mu. She will be behind the plate tonight as part of this 4-woman umpiring crew. And Shui Su will be the video umpire in what we hope to be the first of 2 contests tonight. Word is that Japan and the Philippines will follow for the second game on what has become day 1 of this World Cup group. Here you get a look at the starting lineup for Great Britain. We'll talk a little bit about it as the night progresses. They were the European champions and are making their World Cup debut. Laura Harai, who you see at the top of the lineup, she's listed as the DH, will also be the starting pitcher tonight for Team GB. An interesting case. At 26 years of age, she was Boston's draftee in the WPBL, but did not make it over there. She is representing her country. And for Venezuela, the Pan American champions, they were undefeated in that tournament. Frandelis Garcia, who we'll talk about in a moment. You see her in the middle of your screen. This is the defense behind her. A team that was very, very impressive when we first laid eyes on them a couple days ago at their initial training session here in Tainan. Something that we will touch on time and time again, I'm sure, in the next 3 days. A team that Amy McCann, who will be with me throughout the tournament the next few days, believes could be the nation that is the next to threaten the United States and Japan in the women's game. There is Frandelis Garcia, the 23-year-old right-hander. She was the MVP of group play back in 2023 and threw a complete game shutout in the Pan American Championships and the win against Puerto Rico that ultimately sent Venezuela to this World Cup qualifier. Frandelis can play both ways, but is getting to start atop the mound for Venezuela. Venezuela are led by Cindy Anzola. She's been on the staff since 2010. The Pan American Championships were the first for her as a manager, and there has definitely been a culture shift and a shift in intent in this Venezuelan side. It'll be interesting to see how that translates onto the park. It'll be interesting to see how both of these teams adapt. Being called upon about an hour and a half ago to say, let's play baseball, after sitting around for a couple of days. And boy, have we waited a while for this. 57 hours to say baseball is getting underway in Tainan. And the first to Harai, a fastball at 120 Ks an hour that swung on and missed. And we are finally underway, 7:31 local time on a Tuesday night in Tainan. This field crew has done an incredible job to get this field up to playing standards. As Garcia trying to come up and end to Harai, who squared as if to bunt, pulls back and takes a ball. Talking about Great Britain playing in their first Women's Baseball World Cup. But they haven't simply come here to make up the numbers. This is a team that feels like they can make a bit of noise. 1-1 to Harai is popped foul. And that'll get off and out of play. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Pietro Solicchietto, the Italian-born manager for this British side. But he said as much. He said he's really looking forward to seeing this team play. It really feels like they've timed their run well heading into this World Cup. But how sure can you be? This tournament has changed its complexion in the last couple of days, obviously, with the disruptions. No games at all on the schedule days 1 and 2. Harai trying to hang in. The 1-2 from Garcia. Painted the outside part of the plate. It called third strike. And that is how we get underway on a Tuesday night in Tainan. That was a beautiful pitch from Garcia. We'll see it again. It challenged Harai up and in on a couple of pitches and then paints the outside part of the plate. A 1 hitter and 1 strikeout for the 23-year-old Venezuelan righty. Here's Saskia Davies, the shortstop and Cardiff native. 120 Ks an hour again as Garcia is seemingly keen to challenge these right-handers up and in. Thinking as though this British outfit maybe not ready to see 120 Ks an hour. Tried to dot the outer part of the plate, but it just missed. And the count even 1-1. One to Davies. Challenged again. That one off the hands and fouled straight back. As the rain does start to tumble. a little bit at the ballpark. Look, we think that the heaviest stuff is behind us. It's hard to know for sure this time of year on the southern tip of Taiwan, but we do hope that the heavy stuff is well and truly behind us. We've seen plenty of it the last few days. 1-2. Tried to climb the ladder and missed. It's a group of young ladies on both sides that have just been itching to play baseball. Saw them train on Saturday, which seems like a lifetime ago. Of course, no baseball Sunday or Monday, and here we are in the late stages of Tuesday before throwing the first pitch. 2-2, waved at and missed. Davies couldn't hold up the swing. She was late on it. You could tell that she knew probably not a pitch that she wanted to swing at, but she couldn't help herself. It tends to look like a beach ball when it's coming at you. It's more of a defensive swing than anything else. And Frandelis Garcia has K'd the first two that she's faced in the first. Here's Daria Malone. One of the two true standouts on this Team GB roster. Malone takes the first off speed, as Garcia took something off that pitch at 106. Malone at 33 years of age, one of the leaders on this team. She was the MVP in the Euros. Had a slugging percentage near 700 and an OPS near 1,300 in that tournament. Good 1-0 pitch. Paints the outside part of the plate. Garcia evens it count, a ball and a strike. Malone, a product of the British Virgin Islands. 1-1. Good pitch. Couldn't get the righty to chase. It's 2-1 now. 5 hits, 5 RBIs, 2 doubles, and 7 total bases. All of those led the European Championships. She also pitched, played a little bit of third and shortstop. Playing third base tonight. 2-1 just missed. Malone knew it, shaking her head. Now 3 balls and a strike, trying to extend the inning to Amy Trask, who awaits on deck. Would hit if Malone can extend this top half of the first. One of the more vocal leaders on this Great Britain side, as well as Malone. She's got a bit of a swagger about her. 3-1 pitch. Low and away, ball 4. No. Late strike call from Eva Moo. Malone was a couple of steps toward first. She will retreat back to the box. We'll see it at 3-2. Have another look. That's a pretty good pitch. Well, I tell you what, Garcia has nibbled on that lower outside edge to all of these right-handers that she's faced here in the first. Payoff pitch. Skied foul off toward the right side. We'll do it again, 3-2. Malone's going to be key if Team GB are going to make a bit of noise, not only in this game tonight, but throughout the next couple days of this tournament. They're going to need Malone to produce in the middle of this order. She's locked in a battle with Garcia here in the first. Asking for time, and it's granted at home plate. A strikeout of Harai looking, Davies swinging. And the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming, another 3-2 to Malone. And the pitch. High, ball 4. That is a great plate appearance from Daria Malone. After back-to-back strikeouts to begin this top half of the first, Team GB have their first base runner in a Women's Baseball World Cup. And maybe fittingly so, it's Daria Malone who will stand atop first base. We'll see if Team GB want to do a bit of running, maybe challenge Venezuela in these slippery conditions. Here's Amy Trask now hitting with 2 outs and a runner aboard at first. First to Trask. Missed upstairs at 119. Seems keen to go to the fastball up in the zone early, does Garcia. Has done so now to all 4 hitters. All 4 have been hitting from the right side. Trask, 31 years of age, bases herself in Canada and was not part of the Team GB European Championship side. She is one of 5 players who joins this Team GB team that was not part of the European champions. 1-0 pitch. High again. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. But keep an eye on the slippery conditions as well. Garcia looked pretty comfortable. You can see now that the rain is falling. She's just asking for time to maybe rub off that baseball a bit. The rain is still falling, though ever so lightly, especially compared to what we've seen throughout the last couple days. 300 mils in the last 48 hours. 2-0 to Trask. He's not swinging, and 119 k/h fastball rather drops in. 2-1 now. It's a Team GB side that has 8 different country connections. Trask, one of those, hailing from Canada. They come from far and wide on this Team GB side. 2-1 is waved at and missed. She just got a piece at home plate. And leading the count 2-2. National team program that is entirely self-funded. They have seen a rapid ascent after finishing 4th at the Euros in 2022. They were the champions 3 years later in 2025 to get them here to the World Cup. And Trask trying to battle in a 2-2 count with Garcia. The pitch. High again, 3-2. And Chloe Sutcliffe, the British center fielder, waits on deck. Great Britain just trying to make a little bit of noise with 2 outs after Garcia K'd the first 2. Great Britain have still yet to put a ball in play here in the first. And just check on Malone over at first. Let me see if she can get a good jump. She'll be off with the pitch. And if Trask can find a gap, Malone may have a chance to run for a while. The 3-2. On the ground toward first, cued off the end of the bat. Yendez is there. Will take it to the bag herself. Team GB going to walk with 2 outs, but Malone stranded at first base. Let's go to the home half of the first. Great Britain nothing. Venezuela coming up in Tainan. To the bottom of the first inning, we go in Tainan. 0-0 our score. Getting our first look at the Venezuela starting lineup. And Gabriela Garcia, the young lady on your screen, just 17 years of age. Hitting the start at second base and making her World Cup debut. Amy and I got a really good look at her the other day in the cage. And she's got a little bit of pop, a little bit of swagger as Gabriela Garcia. And she is kind of a microcosm of this Venezuelan side. And this is a team that was unbeaten in the Pan American Championships and have an average team age of 23. They're very young, they're very hungry. They're going to look at the British defense behind Laura Harai, who will be the starting pitcher. We mentioned briefly at the top of the first inning, 26-year-old right-hander out of the London Mets and the Japanese-born pitcher. And the defense behind her for the first time tonight here in the last of the first. Here is Harai, who we spoke a little bit about in the top of the first inning. One of the only British youth players to ever represent at an under 15 and under 18 level. She was born in Japan, now calls London home, and plays her baseball for the London Mets. She was drafted by Boston in the WPBL, but did not play in that competition. Elected to represent Team GB in this World Cup qualifying competition. So she will face Garcia to begin things here in the last of the first. It'll be interesting to get a look at Gabriela Garcia. Really athletic, rangy type. Who by all accounts has a good bat as well. First from Harai, off speed that misses low and inside. Cindy Anzola, the manager of this Venezuelan team, has really turned them around. He's looking to turn them into the next international powerhouse in women's baseball. The 1-0 pitch misses upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Upstairs now 3-0. Shrishna Arcinega is awaiting on deck. There is Pietro Solicito, the Italian-born manager, this Team GB side. 3-0 pitch. Falls in at 104, 3-1. Cindy Anzola's talked a lot about the goal being to win every game we play. Obviously, they want to advance. She feels confident in the way that this team is prepared. It's a 3-1 upstairs, and it's a leadoff walk from Harai. And we'll see if Cindy Anzola wants to do a bit of running in this last of the first inning, as Venezuela had the leadoff hitter aboard to begin things. So here's Shrishna Arcinega, 26-year-old center fielder. And Harai just checking on Garcia. Had the same notion that I did, maybe thinking that a 17-year-old would want to challenge Artie Herbert, the catcher for Team GB. And first offering, runner not going. Herbert does look her back to first base. And Arcinega takes the first for a ball. Harai just doing a little bit of what we saw from Brandelis Garcia in the top of the first inning, just trying to keep that baseball dry. Even though there's not only rain falling, at least not intensely, we're still playing under very damp conditions as the 1-0 is spoiled foul. And leaving the count a ball and a strike. You can see so on your screen, the field crew have done an incredible job here in Tainan to get this field playable, but there are still some patches. And obviously any ball hit on the infield will be slowed immensely. You could say the same about anything that touches the patch of grass in the outfield tonight. 1-1, runner goes, it's up and in. That'll be an easy stolen base for Garcia. Got a great jump on Harai. And Artie Herbert was just unable to come up with it cleanly behind home plates. Give Garcia her first stolen base of a World Cup. And now Arcinega has an opportunity to drive in Venezuela's first here in the last of inning number 1. Something we expect to see a lot of from this Venezuelan team. They get base runners on, pressure the opposition. 2-1 instead of look back. Daria Malone has come in a couple steps at third base, potentially thinking Arcinega may be laying down a bunt here on a 2-1. She's playing at the edge of the infield grass on the third base side, not squaring, and she spoils it foul, really kicking herself a bit. I think Arcinega knows that she may have missed one on 2-1. Harai got away with it, 2-2 now. And with the amended schedule, these are 5-inning contests now, not the regulation 7, so scoring early could make all the difference. 2-2. This ball skied into center. Looks like it will be playable for Scatliff. She's there to make the catch. And Garcia not able to tag. So good work from Harai. Arciniega missed a 2-1 offering that she had a good chance to drive, and then Harai's able to get the fly out to center. And there's one away now for Kimberly Caicedo. Caicedo is an RBI machine for Venezuela as part of the Pan American Championships. 25-year-old third baseman. Drove in 4 in that deciding game against Cuba at the Pan Ams. Takes a called strike in the first that she sees here. And it's a Venezuelan team that on average is so young, just 23 years of age. The average age of all that are on their rosters, Caicedo 25. 0-1, they will look the runner back. Gabriela Garcia is well and truly in the head of Laura Harai, you could say. And she is going. This one swung on and tapped foul off toward third base. If Caicedo just let that pitch travel, Garcia had the base stolen. So she'll head back to second base. We'll do it again, 0-2. Garcia walked to begin the inning, stole second base. Arciniega was unable to drive her in, and now it's 0-2. Caicedo will need to protect. From the stretch, the pitch from Harai. This one spoiled foul. Caicedo just got a piece to stay alive. We'll do it again, 0-2. Again, the defending world champions, 7-time defending world champions in Japan, are scheduled due up next to play the Philippines. Half an hour or so following this contest. That leaves Cuba and Chinese Taipei potentially as the only teams that will have not played heading into the final 2 days of the tournament. It means we'll have a jam-packed schedule for you here in Tainan. Impossible for me to say what that schedule will look like the next 2 days, but our friends at WBSC.org will have all the information for you overnight. 0-2 on the ground left side. Runner had to hold. Davies from short across the diamond. And a good play. 6-3 for the second out of the inning. And again, runner at second base, nobody out. Venezuela's been unable to advance the base runner. Here the throw gets away, but Garcia has to stay put at second. And so the inning will be up to Marilyn Yendez. This would be excellent work if Laura Harai is able to get out of this first with no damage done after walking the leadoff hitter. Just have a look at how this infield just slows up the baseball. A couple of hops to Saskia Davies, who was able to get it to first in plenty of time. Now Marilyn Yendez has an opportunity to play two-out hero here in the first. Got a chance to look at her in the cage a couple days ago. That was on Saturday afternoon. Don't want to give her anything she can barrel. See if Harai elects to pitch to her. Give her anything in the zone here. First offering was tying away, but it called it strike one. I think Yendez thought so. And then talking about this young Venezuelan core, look at that. Yendez is 21 years of age. Only got 2 players, 30 years of age and older, on this squad. 0-1, this one popped up a mile high on the infield. Davies calling for it. She makes the catch. And what work by Laura Harai. Venezuela get a base runner on to begin the inning. Garcia still second, but she's left there. Walks by each team in the first inning, but we're scoreless as we go to the second and tie on. Well, scattered fans from Great Britain have made the trip here to Tainan. Had to wait a couple days longer than what they were expecting to be able to watch a little bit of baseball, but they are getting to see their team play on a Tuesday night and a dry Tuesday night. As far as precipitation is concerned, there are still quite a few wet patches on the field here in Tainan, but we're playing baseball. Chloe Scatliff, the center fielder, leading things off. Garcia needed 22 pitches to get through the first, though she did only face 4 hitters. Had to go full to both Daria Malone and Amy Trask before retiring the side. It'll be Scatliff, Briggs, and Artie Herbert. Caitlin Frank will hit if anyone reaches in the second inning. Taking all the way on 2-0. Scatliff takes his strike, 2-1. The pitch. High and inside, 3 balls and a strike. So it's striking out the first 2. Harai looking and Davies swinging. It's not been the most efficient of outings to this point for Garcia. Still, in a lot of ways, trying to find her feet. 3-1 pitch. That's better. Getting the over strike on 3-1. And the count's full. 3-2 to Scatliff. Swung out and missed. Fastball at 120. Blew it by her. And it's strikeout number 3 for Frandelis Garcia. And that's how we get the second inning underway. So right back to the fastball on a 3-2 pitch. And Scatliff wasn't looking for it. We'll see if that calms Garcia, approaching 30 pitches now with 1 away here in the top of the second. And here's Danny Briggs. A little bit high on the first that she sees. She's gone to that fastball almost exclusively on the first pitch. Briggs, the first left-hander that Garcia's seeing tonight. 1-0 pitch. Low and inside, not bad location, but it did miss. 2-0. Briggs, an interesting case, was injured and missed the European Championship. She was on the coaching staff. And here she is at 43 years of age, getting to play in her first Women's Baseball World Cup. 2-0 from Garcia. That one off speed, and it missed high and inside. You just wonder if this residual condensation on the field, I mean, by all accounts, it is still quite wet, especially on the infield, is wreaking havoc a little bit on the control of Frandelis Garcia. Briggs was taking all the way, tried to get out of the way of that pitch. Instead, it's a called strike 1 by Eva Mu, and it's 3-1 now. Garcia has struck out 3 of the 5 that she's faced, but it's not been easy. 3-1. One off speed, and it's popped up. Shallow right field. Who wants it? Heredia is in. She's there to make the catch. And Garcia now has set down 5 of the first 6 that she has faced. 2 gone. .22 pitches in the first for Garcia. She's thrown 11 here in the second to get the first 2 hitters out. And the inning's up to Artie Herbert, the 7-hole hitting catcher. First to Herbert, looking to square to bunt. Pulls back and takes ball 1.
6-5-1, 6-5-1.
And Great Britain did have a chance in the first inning. Daria Malone walked with 2 outs. Amy Trask put in a really good at-bat behind her, but was unable to do anything with the base runner. Slow pitch is in for a called strike to even the count. Venezuela, a chance of their own in the first inning. Gabriela Garcia walked and stole second base with nobody out. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Venezuelan order unable to advance her. It's the 1-1. This one hit toward the left side. Could be trouble. Kalina, the long throw from shortstop in time, and the inning's over. Boy, Herbert thought for all money she had an infield base hit, but an excellent play to the backhand of Johellis Kalina. It's a 1-2-3 second inning. We'll have a look at it as we head to break midway through 2. 0-0 in Tainan. Into the last half of inning number 2. Great Britain and Venezuela playing the curtain raiser of this Women's Baseball World Cup group stage. Some 57 hours after we thought this game would be played at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. Here we are just past 8 o'clock local time on Tuesday, and we're playing baseball. Stephanie Suarez leading things off for Venezuela, the 5, 6, and 7 spots for the Pan American Championships. Had an opportunity against Harai in the first, couldn't cash in. And the 1-0 pitch is in for a called strike. Count even 1-1. You get a look at Frandelis Garcia, who is doing her best to stay cool. Despite all the rain we've had here in Taiwan, it is still humid as all get out. This one spoiled foul off toward the right side, 1-2. Speaking of trying to stay cool and getting here in a hurry, my partner, Amy McCann, has joined me in the booth. Hello, Amy.
Hello. How exciting is this? We have baseball on our screens, on our field. Good to go.
You know when you have to do the math just before first pitch as to how many hours it's been since the game was originally scheduled? You know it's been a while. 1-2 pitch. Good choice there from Harai. Leaving the count 2-2. I was talking last half inning when Venezuela first came to the plate, just how impressed we were with this team at their training session on Saturday, which seems like half a lifetime ago now. And Cindy Anzola talking about just wanting this team to show what they have shown her, essentially wanting to show the rest of the world what she already knows about this team. 2-2, this one's on the ground towards second base. That one gobbled up by Briggs. She bobbled it momentarily, and that'll be an error. See the wet conditions maybe just coming into play there a bit for Danny Briggs. That ball slowed up on her. Looked like she'd be able to make the play with ease. Let's have another look. Venezuela's going to put the leadoff runner aboard for the second consecutive inning. That one just ate her up a bit.
Yeah, I think we find the conditions, the wet here of this tournament now obviously plays part, not just obviously with the tactics of the games and length of games. It changes the way you're going to have to field the ball. I think they're going to have to charge a little bit more here and then make sure they make a clean grab and always find a seam in these conditions.
So Laura Harai's going to have to work around a leadoff base runner again. Angulo looks as though she is squaring to bunt. Remember, Venezuela had trouble moving the base runner over in the first. Angulo squares early, pulls back, and takes a called strike. And we'll check on the runner at first base. Marty Herbert's been keen behind home plate early. You can see just how far Daria Malone is in from her third base post as well. Certainly expecting bunts. Safe to say that Team GB is not hiding their tactic here. They certainly think that the bunt is on to potentially allow the bottom third of this order to feed the top and put Venezuela on the board here in the second inning. Malone continues to creep closer and closer. Runner's not going, and the 0-1 taken high and away. Tell you what, Daria Malone is just about in McRiley Angulo's hip pocket by the time the pitch is thrown. Third base.
And this is a tactic now from Gulo. She's got to think about where she puts that ball down. She'll know that Laura Harai's line is first base, so Laura's going to take that first base line, make sure the first base person stays over at first base. So this bunt is all about execution. You're effectively giving up an out to hopefully move the runner over. If all things go perfectly for you as the batting team, you can actually have 2 runners on, but yeah, just hoping that doesn't come around and do a bit of a slap hit here.
Don't think she'd be squaring now at 1 and 2. She'll have to swing away. Harai goes to the off-speed stuff that misses outside to even the count. This is going to be where the game changes for Venezuela. If you want to play with the top teams in the world, the Japans and the United States, which is certainly what Cindy Anzola and this Venezuelan side have in the back of their mind, these are the opportunities that you need to execute on. 2-2. Spoiled foul. Yulo did just get a piece to stay alive.
And as we said, the tournament now, we're going to condense a lot of games into a few days. And right now, every single run is at a premium. You want to get on the board first. You want to get on early. And you've got to try and chip away. These kind of games, 1 run, 2 runs, is going to be huge this week.
Angulo trying to hang in, another 2-2. That one low and away. It skirts away. Good job by Herbert keeping it in front. Suarez not able to advance. It'll run the count full 3-2. It's a good point you make. Look, not only are the days condensed, but the games are now condensed. 5-inning games. I mean that a run in the second inning is, the equivalent of a run in the 4th inning, or, in a 9-inning game, a run in the 6th inning. So game can get late on you in a hurry when you're only playing 5 innings in a condensed format. Rai will check again on the runner. That one nearly got away. Trask had to abandon the base to keep it in front.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we see the tactics play out from managers, whether they do 1-2 punches of 2 starters going in games, just to really get through their pitching rotations, and whether pitchers really attack that strike zone early and conversely the batters. So, yeah, change of the tournament.
3-2 to Angulo. Another opportunity here for Briggs. She'll go to second for 1. The turn is not in time. Bounced over to Trask. But Briggs to Davies, 4-6 on the putout. They do get the lead runner. And Danny Briggs able to make up, at least for now, for the error that she had to begin the inning. There's 1 away with a runner at first.
You talk about in baseball, you want to win each play. You want to win a game. You want to win an inning. But you want to win each play. And I'd put that down there to a win to Great Britain. Runner on first, had the bunting opportunity. She's come out. They've got the force out. Don't get the double play. But Venezuela, they were looking to move that runner over, to trade an out for it. They've got an out. They still have a runner on first base. So big win in that long at-bat there for GB.
So here's Mariana Natera. The first to her is...
It looks like they've just caught a balk on Harai.
Yes, they will. Yeah, Harai must have not come set. So one way or another, Venezuela will get their wish and have the runner move to second. Harai can't believe it. Doesn't seem too happy with it. I don't know if we'll get another look at it, but she just must not have come set before coming home. It's unfortunate the way she was able to battle to get that first out of the inning and keep the runner at first. Now a base hit can give Venezuela the lead. 1-0 to Natera. This one missed off the plate outside. Or no, rather, that was the pitch. There wasn't much in it.
I'm still trying to see where I could see where the balk was. I actually thought that was the current pitch. I'm a bit as surprised as Laura is, but that's okay. Look, hey, now Venezuela, they have that run on second base, so we're all square.
Second consecutive inning, Venezuela have had a runner in scoring position. Can they take advantage in the second? As the 1-0 pitch missed high and away. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Natera, 22 years of age. Again, we've talked about the youth on this roster. Did start a game in the 2025 Pan American Championships against Mexico. Mexico, a team that certainly favored their chances of getting through to the World Cup finals next year, but are unable to get through that group in Rockford. Venezuela looking to be the first Pan American team to punch its ticket to the World Cup final next year. Of course, Cuba also in this group, who we may see later on tonight. We're getting Reports that we might see Japan, Philippines after this game. We might see Chinese Taipei and Cuba a little bit later on tonight as well. Got no baseball in the first 2 days. We may just roll on into the next 2 days. This one's skied into right field, and it's up and over the head of Samya Raman. This looks like it may score a run. It throws to the cutoff. Runner coming home, and Angulo will score on an RBI double into right field from Natera. And the ball comes back to bite Team GB. Venezuela lead it 1-0.
That is a beautiful piece of hitting from Natera there. We're used to seeing her on the mound for Venezuela, and she does it with the bat. As you can see here, runner on second base, lets it travel, hits it right side, exactly what we want to do, and probably just a little bit of a misread there in right field from Raman. But the execution there to get the ball through the cutoffs there from GB. As we see Raman just checking her little outfield card to see where to stand. And Artie Herbert doing a good job there to hold Natera on second base. So Venezuela with the first run of the 2026 World Cup here in Tainan.
Unable to capitalize with the runner at second, nobody out on the first. They do so here in the second. We'll see if they can add on. Here's Yohelis Kalina. The shortstop takes the first from Harai upstairs. I was mentioning it before, just talking about sitting Anzola's team and just the way that they carried themselves. I mean, it was the first impression that we got of them on Saturday when they were at the training facility adjacent with the ballpark here in Tainan. I think you and I were both very impressed with the way that they carried themselves. And it's only good for the sport of women's baseball if a Pan American team emerges as a threat to the United States and Japan. And if they play anything like they trained throughout this tournament, this is a team that is most certainly on the rise. And here they've got a 1-0 lead in the home half of the first inning. And a favorable count here in Kalina. 2-0 pitch. Spoiled foul. That one she could drive, it just missed it 2-1.
Yeah, Kalina is a very, very exciting player. I think, look, I get very excited whenever I'm around women's baseball. But yeah, that training session from Venezuela on the very first day, which seems like a month ago now, it was just...
It does a bit, doesn't it?
It felt different. It looked different. It was just amazing. And I think we're seeing a new generation under Cindy Anzola here for Venezuela. And Kalina's one of those ones known more for her glove than her batting, but... yeah, very, very exciting side. I played against Cindy when she was part of the managerial side in 2010 in Venezuela. Sir Burrito, who's one of the coaching staff here, was a player on that team as well. So really great to see both Cindy Anzola and Rissa Nakashima, two of the female head coaches here. Two of the six here are women at the helm, which is fantastic to see here at the Women's World Cup.
2-1, Kalina squares to bunt, and it gets away. That'll advance the runner. There's nobody at third base. Herbert throws it away, and Natera will come home to score. Put pressure on the catcher, and Herbert just airmailed it to third base. There was nobody covering the bag. It's an easy second run. Now 2-0 Venezuela here in the second. These are the types of things that if you're Great Britain, you just can't afford to do. They were so good at getting themselves out of trouble in the first inning. A balk, a couple of errors, and now all of a sudden Venezuela have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, in this situation, in any game, but particularly in high-stakes games in these conditions, you want to take care of the ball. And we see maybe just a bit of a lazy glove there from Artie Herbert, and maybe she saw the umpire has the same dark top as the GB team. Maybe thought the umpire was the third base in Daria Malone.
3-1 to Kalina. Boy, she was ready to let rip. Swung at a high fastball. And it's 3-2 now. You mentioned how exciting Kalina was. She played the 2018 World Cup as a teenager. Has also represented Venezuela in 2 Baseball 5 World Cups. It's a 3-2 pitch. Misses low and away, ball 4. It tells you what kind of athlete she is. Baseball 5. And I don't know if you know a lot about Baseball 5. You got to be an athlete to play that sport.
You do. Australia actually did compete at the Baseball 5 World Cup. Actually, 2 of the recent Emeralds in Ali Bebre and Jamie Bastian were actually on that side. And
I get exhausted watching that sport.
Just had a bit of a look down at the bullpen. That seems to be Una Lunan down there about to warm up, I believe.
Harai approaching 40 pitches with one away here in the second. Runner goes. Throw from Herbert is into center field. And Kalina, she's going to take the extra base on to third, standing up. Boy, oh boy, Team GB, their own worst enemy defensively here in the last of the second inning. Kalina still asking questions, 4 or 5 steps down that third baseline. Harai asking for time for a new baseball. That's 3 errors to go along with the balk now in the inning, and Venezuela have taken advantage.
Yeah, look, coming into one of these games, one of the things you want to be doing is you really want to be aggressive on the base paths, because I want to be forcing the fielding team to throw the ball around. I want them to find a seam. The ball's going to be muddy. It could be soapy. And it's exactly what Kalina's done there. She's seen Herbert's thrown that other one around. Probably still maybe has that in the back of her head. And I love the aggressive base running here from Venezuela. And 2-0 now feels like a big lead in this game.
Nothing in one. This one back up the middle. That'll be a base hit and an RBI for Heredia. So the steal and the extra base pays off. Kalina comes home to score. And it is 3-0 Venezuela in the home half of the second inning. It's a team that we talked about needed to take advantage of opportunities if they want to announce themselves on the international stage. And they have done that in a big way here in this second inning. Didn't take them long to learn their lesson after stranding a base runner at second with nobody out back in the first.
Nice bit of hitting there from Heredia. Didn't try to do too much. And if you're getting some productivity, RBI single to centre field, she didn't try and force it. Just went with it. Knew she had a runner on third and ticks that back over to the top of the lineup in someone who I'm just so excited to see get fired up this week.
Walked and stole a bag last inning. And she hammers a pitch into center, coming on, bounces in front of Scatliff. It gets away, and Garcia's going to run for a while. Heredia on her way to third. They will hold her there. Garcia into second base with a double. Swinging first pitch, hammers it into center. Scatliff took a bit of a chance. She looks to be okay. Lost her cap. But Garcia didn't waste any time. A walk in the first and a scorching double here in the second inning. And there's 2 in scoring position.
Look, I think with the conditions out there, I had a walk around the outfield yesterday, and I can't believe, as we see the head coach will come out and have a chat to Laura Harai, the outfield is surprisingly dry. We have had probably, what do you think, 50 centimetres of rain since we got here 5 days ago, and I could not believe how dry it was out there. And it's a little bit, it's not going to run too far, so I don't mind that dive from Scatliff out there, because it's not going to run to the fence behind her. So got to take your chances. The World Cup, got to hold those runs down, but we'll see. Laura will stay in the game as Arsinega comes up. Runners on second and third now, so good job by GB to actually not let Heredia score there.
Yeah, it wasn't a long chat from Pieri Lorenzo, the pitching coach for Team GB. Is an arm up and warming in the GB bullpen. That's pitch number 43 for Harai. After an efficient 16-pitch first inning, she has labored somewhat here in the second to the tune of 3 Venezuela hits for 3 runs. The 3 errors certainly haven't helped. The 1-0 is popped a mile high behind home plate. Herbert giving chase. Can she make the catch? No. That probably is the one still somewhat treacherous part of this ballpark, is kind of that warning track all the way around. You can still see some standing water sort of right in front of our broadcast position. We are right behind home plate, sort of behind the right-handed batter's box, and you can just sort of glance around and see a lot of standing water still on the warning track. So it is something that sort of edge defenders, catchers, and outfielders may have to deal with tonight. Good effort there from Herbert, just couldn't get to the baseball. Runners at second and third, 1 away. Venezuela trying to add on. 1-1 pitch. Low, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, we know Adi Herbert. She's part of that reigning European champion outfit that the GB side are, and she caught all 4 games in the Czech Republic when they went on, and also as well caught a double header. They played their final round robin game and the gold medal game on the same day, and she caught all of it, and it was warm.
2-1, that one back up the middle. That'll get through. Should score 2. Heredia is in from third. Garcia making the turn. They will hold her up. Good strong throw in, and Arsinega will take the extra base. It's given to her. No sense in getting the second out of the inning at home plate. Venezuela keeping the line moving here in the second inning. It's 4-0.
thing I'm loving from the Venezuelan bats here, as we see here, Arsenia Naga just puts that on the ground behind the runners. And look, if that went a metre or two either side of Scatliff out there, it might have been 2 runners. But the thing we've come to know and love about Venezuela is they are strong pull hitters and they are aggressive in the box. We're seeing them hitting where the pitch is pitched. We're seeing situational hitting. They know that Laura Harai isn't going to be throwing 70, 80 miles an hour. They would have to generate a lot of the power, and they're not over-swinging. They are doing exactly what they need to do. They are just putting the ball where it is pitched and 4 runs across the plate. This is a really disciplined Venezuelan batting lineup, and probably discipline is probably something they have lacked over the years.
1-0 pitch to Saicedo. That one's in for a called strike. She didn't like it. Leaving the count 1-1. And probably just as encouraging for Cindy Anzola is the bottom of the order feeding the top, which is something you've got to do in international tournament baseball if you're going to win. The bottom of the order has to produce, and they've done so to push this lead to 4-0 here in the second inning for Venezuela. 1-1 pitch. Good work by Herbert to keep that in front, 2-1. As you talked about, in a now condensed tournament format, playing over 2+ days, where it looks like the goal will be to get in all 15 games, which will be a feat in itself if we're able to do so. You've got to take advantage of any and all opportunities that you have. And Venezuela certainly have done that here in the second inning. Count even now, 2-2.
Talk about the energy of South American baseball. If you want to watch some energy, go and watch the gold medal game. Go and watch basically any game of the Pan Americans from 2025. But Saicedo, actually, she had the game generating knock that got them the gold medal. And to celebrate, look, the celebrations they have when they just get hit by pitch is just great to see. But the celebrations when you deliver a 6th-inning game-tying RBI to basically spark your team's rally to win your continental champs, it's just, I'd love to go to a Pan American Champs. It'd just be the best fun.
Yeah, I'd be right there with you. She drove in 4 in that clinching game against Cuba. Cuban side that we may see tonight. It may be past it may be tomorrow by the time we see Cuba, but we do expect to see them in the roll-on schedule that we have here tonight. 2-2, that one got away from Harai. Looked like she tried to tear off a breaking ball, was unable to do so. And the count now full 3-2 with Marilyn Yendez awaiting on deck. The only Venezuelan hitter not to come to the plate so far in the inning. She hasn't had her opportunity to get into the action in this 4-run inning. This one back to Harai, off the pitcher. She sticks with it, will go to the first to get the out. Venezuela do score a run. It's 5-0, but importantly for Team GB, they do get the second out of the inning. You hope that Harai's okay. She looks to be all right. Defended that comebacker with her body. Have a look at it here. Did get the glove.
There's not much of Laura Harai. I think she's about 5'1", she was telling me the other day. But you know what? There's no better person to take the ball in this event. She missed the opportunity to pitch at the Euros last year. She was injured. She basically nearly tore her arm off. So you are going to have to take that ball from her off the mound today.
Pitch number 53, the first to Yendez, misses off the plate outside. Marilyn Yendez was the final out of the first inning, popped out to short to end the threat. And Venezuela did have a chance last inning, couldn't take advantage. That's not the case an inning later. 1-0 pitch. Went down to get a breaking ball and fouled it away, 1-1. Another player that we were mightily impressed with on Saturday, 21-year-old Marilyn Yendez, struggled to find a ball that she didn't barrel in batting practice a couple days ago. Harai was able to get her to pop up to end the first. That one nearly hit her. It missed inside, 2-1.
One of the things you'll notice there with the bat that, they're going to walk. Actually, no, they're saying, I think there's a bit of confusion here. They're saying they've walked her on 4 with a...
We'll look at it here. I don't think, did it get her? May have got some of the jersey. That may be what Eva Moo is saying. It might have just grazed the front part of the jersey of Yendez. Tough to tell there. It's awfully close.
It looked like there's a little bit of daylight on the first replay, so I think Laura Harai's just saying, you know what, they've already got 5 runs, don't help them out.
That's what Pietro Solacieto is asking the home plate umpire. It's going to be in vain. It'll be runners at the corners. And now Stephanie Suarez, who began the inning, reached on that error committed at second base by Danny Briggs. The 10th hitter to come to the plate in the inning for Venezuela. First to her. This one missed high and away. Malone in on the grass at third. 1-0, low, 2 balls and no strikes. They're just causing enough havoc on the base paths to give Laura Harai something else to think about. It's just another wrinkle that a lot of times these Latin American nations will have in their game plan. You get a pitcher rattled, things like taking the extra base, getting a big secondary lead. All those things can start to enter the mind of a pitcher and make her think about anything other than the hitter at home plate. And the 2-0 is skied in the air right side, giving chase his Trask, but she'll run out of room. 2-1.
Yeah, one of the things that South American teams are known for is just being very loud on the base paths in terms of getting their lead. Just particularly with a right-handed pitcher, the person on third base. It's about flapping your arms. It's about getting your feet down. It's just about seeing if you can take 1 to 5% of attention and energy away from the pitcher. That will take it away from the pitch. And I can see there at third base, we see that. We can see a little bit of activity. There's very, very bright shoes on at third base as well. So that's probably catching the glimpse of Laura.
Just something else to think about. 2-1 on the ground, up the middle. She's there to grab it. Briggs underhands to second base. The inning started with an error by the second baseman, but a great play to end the frame. But Venezuela, they bring 10 to the plate. They score 5 times. They've got a 5-0 lead as we go to the third.
And of this inning, the score now is 5-0.再次提醒现场的观众朋友们，比赛期间禁止使用气体、喇叭或其他会引起噪音的器材。谢谢。Dear friends, do not use any air horn or any object that will generate loud noise. Thank you.
You fans in the crowd with a few refreshments on a Tuesday night. Where else would you want to be but at the ballpark? It's only taken us 57 hours to throw the first pitch of this tournament. There have been some fans that have trickled in. Certainly those that have traveled from Great Britain have joined us here at Tainan Asia Pacific for Game 1 of what we anticipate will still be 15 games in this Tainan qualifier. At least we hope so. And Venezuela leading Team GB 5-0 as we play in the top of the third. Andrew Reynolds, Amy McCann, thanks so much for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night or whatever day and time it is where you are. It's hard for us to really know what day and time it is either at this point with all the waiting around, but just glad to be playing baseball. Caitlin Frank leading things off. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 spots for Great Britain. It's Frandelis Garcia now with a comfortable lead to work with. Misses on the 0-2, now a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think about the battle here of the Euro champs and the Pan American champs, and they would have thought, I think it took them about 50 hours to get here. I don't think they would have thought it would have been longer to see them get out on the field.
1-2, spoiled foul off toward the left-hand side. We'll do it again. I will ask you this, Amy, because these teams obviously waiting around all day, and this was originally scheduled to be the morning contest. A 9 o'clock first pitch is what this game was scheduled as this morning. Let's not even talk about when it was meant to be played the last couple days with all the rain. There's a good breaking ball. 4th strikeout for Frandelis Garcia, and Caitlin Frank is down on strikes to begin this 3rd inning. What is that like? What's it like waiting around all day to play and then getting that call with about an hour and 20 minutes of lead time? I mean, it's one thing for Venezuela, a team who in large part have been here before and have expectations, but a team like Great Britain who have been waiting around for 2 days to play their first ever World Cup game, and then all of a sudden it's like, get ready, we're going to rock and roll in an hour. I would guess, if anything, maybe it eliminates any of those first game nerves that team would have had.
Yeah, look, I think you can look at it both ways. I think Great Britain, everyone just wants to play ball. I mean, we've been in the hotel. We just wanted to get out and call, and I think there isn't an opportunity to get nervous because I think everyone just wants to get out there. And I think you've spent years preparing. You've spent days in the hotel. The Great Britain side was up north Taiwan for a week in a training camp. I was talking to a lot of the Great Britain girls over Messenger today, and they were saying they didn't get to train today, but they were training in their hotel. They were doing dry swings, they were doing team meetings, they were doing little ground ball drills in the foyer, in the hallway of the hotel. It was really cool, like the stuff they've been doing. So, look, for me, I can
only imagine being a patron in that hotel. I forgot something in my room. I'm gonna walk back up, and then there's 20 players swinging baseball bats. This one's flied into right field. It's sending Heredia back, and she's there to make the catch. Heredia had to run a long way. She was playing in right field with the right-hander at the plate, but she's able to retreat and make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, just got that up on the handle, didn't quite get all of it, and it got a little bit more of a run on there. At the end of the day, she caught it, and Heredia will be happy with that. But yeah, look, I think across my 6 World Cups, I was very, very lucky. We had very few I didn't have a washout. We had some delays. I had a 2.5 hour rain delay in the middle of an at-bat.
You were telling me about that on
Edmondson.
Saturday.
That was rough. I actually came back and got a walk in that. So, yeah, look, I think the WBSC has been really great getting updates, and every team were on standby. They knew that this could happen, and when you get to the end of day 3, I'm telling you, I would go and play out there in a bathing suit at 3 a.m. if someone asked me.
1-0 pitch to Harai in for a called strike. So essentially what you're telling me is you deferred the 500 mils you should have had during your playing career at World Cups. Yeah. Only for them to come in the last 3 days here in Tainan.
I'm sorry, girls. It's my fault.
1-1 pitch. Good breaking ball. Went backed up a little bit on Garcia, but Harai able to lay off. 2 balls and a strike. Just picturing a team full of 20 Team GB players in a hallway of a hotel taking dry hacks.
Yeah, look, Japan were in the car park too. So if you were coming in to park your car, you probably had to watch out for a few of the best players in the world.
2-1. This might be trouble, and I think it will be. Garcia will field it, but no way they're going to get Harai. And there is Team GB's first Women's World Cup base hit. And maybe fittingly, it comes from Laura Harai, who gets an infield single with 2 away here in the 3rd.
I think that's very, very fitting. Laura Harai, she has got wheels, and that ball just finds that spot there. There was no one was going to be throwing out Laura Harai. And look, she has done a lot of firsts for Great Britain, and that is absolutely fitting. Like, she was the first European player signed, drafted, I should say, to the WPBL Professional League. She's played a European Championship in both softball and baseball in the same year. I think it's very fitting that Laura Harai is the first ever GB player to record a hit at a World Cup.
So here's Saskia Davies for the 2nd time tonight, the Welsh native. Plays her baseball in Cardiff. One interesting thing about this Team GB side is, look, not only do they come from sort of 8 different nationalities of backgrounds, but they really do come from all over Great Britain as well. Talking to some of their support staff and just talking about how littered across Great Britain, the majority of these local players are. I mean, you think about Laura Harai, who stands atop first base. London base, plays her baseball for the London Mets. And Saskia Davies is Welsh, plays her baseball in Cardiff.
The Cardiff Merlins. There are some really cool names there across the board. And a massive shout out to Amanda Doris Hocking, who I know is tuning in over in the west of England. She started the Women's Baseball UK organisation about 8 years ago. And to think where it has come after starting that 8 years ago to try and give more opportunities for girls and women in the UK for baseball. Doris, unfortunately, she was coming over here. She has some health issues and she's watching over on TV. And I think there'd be a smile, there'd be tears, she's probably jumping around in a lounge room at whatever time it is over there now, because what Doris has done, the amount of clubs that we see now across Great Britain, and that has resulted in GB being here at the World Cup. Like, it is just amazing.
Yeah, just a reminder of the collective effort that it takes to get a national team into a World Cup. Harai goes, and after getting the first base hit, as Team GB's first stolen base of a World Cup.
She's just a bit of a stat collector, Laura Harai, isn't she? She's like, I want to get all these firsts. That's a delayed steal there. I know that their GB team, that's one of their tactics. Delayed steal there. Look at her. She does this, the delayed steal Selly, which is fantastic to see. And you can catch her off guard. And look, Suarez is a multi-World Cup veteran behind the dish. But delayed steals can get anyone, even the best, off guard. And now GB with the runner in scoring position.
1-2 to Davies, and swung hard and missed. So Garcia does get the strikeout. Team GB get their first Women's World Cup base hit. Saved that baseball, but Garcia gets the last laugh. A couple of strikeouts in the inning. She's K'd 5. We're midway through 3. 5-0 Venezuela. Well, the end of the night has come for Laura Harai. 2 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, all earned. A couple of walks on 59 pitches, and accentuating some of that multiculturalism we're talking about for this Team GB side, Amy. They will go to their 30-year-old left-hander who was born in Finland.
Yes, Una Olinen, one of the 3 lefty throwers here. They've got a triple lefty threat. She's also nicknamed the Librarian. She is very smart, and you need to be very smart. Sometimes they say pitchers need to leave their brain in the dugout, but look at that arc. So not only do they have to face that lefty arm slot, they've got that's an old pure 12-6 breaking ball, that one.
That was a big hook. 2 balls and no strikes. And this is a Team GB side with players representing 8 different countries, coming from different places. I mean, Laura Harai, one of those, of course, born in Japan, but has lived most of her life in the UK. Same can be said for this left-hander. She threw the opener in the European Championships and threw 3 scoreless innings in what ended up being a 16-1 win against France. This ball is crushed into left, but played well out there by Caitlin Frank. They were playing deep and left for Angulo, and thank goodness they were. That ball was hit a ton, but it's a loud, long first out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
That's the strong pull hitting we know and love from Venezuela. Look at her go down and drill that. She would be unhappy, but me as the outfielder, I'm very happy with that catch there from Caitlin Frank. Una Elinen started the gold medal game, I think, at the European Championships as well. It was a massive day, as we said, for the Great Britain side. There was a rain delay, so you talk about rain. Sometimes it was almost like it was training them. They had a rain delay. They were forced to play their last pool match against the Netherlands. They ended up winning 1 run, 10-9. And about 40 minutes later, they had to rock up against Czech Republic for the final. And they came out, beat the Czech Republic and punched their ticket here. They were the first team to punch their ticket. It seems like a lifetime ago when they did that. So they've had a lot of time to prepare.
2-0 to Natira. There's that big breaking ball again. Didn't get the call. Pretty good pitch on 2-0. Natira doubled in a run and scored as part of that 5-run 2nd inning. Look at that Team GB coaching staff down the first baseline. It's a pretty good pitch on 2-0. Just off the plate outside. It was back to the breaking stuff on 3-0, and it got away. So it's a 4-pitch walk to Natera. Herbert having to quickly corral the baseball.
Yeah, you can see Artie Herbert just absolutely motoring behind the plate there to get the ball that's gone back in front of us at the backstop here. Because I'm telling you now, I think we'll see it before the, I keep saying week, we'll see it before the 48 hours is over. I'm going to make a call that we're going to see one of the Venezuelans go home to second on a walk that gets through a catcher. I think if they see a catcher napping, they are looking to take, they're not just looking to take 90 feet, they're looking to take 180 feet, Venezuela. I'm loving it.
Well, they took advantage of opportunity in the 2nd. We'll see if they can do so here in the 3rd. Here's Kalina. They will check on the runner at first, and the ball skips away. Trask can't keep it in front on the pickoff attempts. And Atira puts herself in scoring position. Just as we talked about, menaces on the base paths, making pitchers worry about anything other than the hitter at home plate. And even with a left-hander on the mound, Kalina with a sizable lead and easily able to take second base once that ball got away from Amy Trask. Now an RBI chance for Kalina, who walked and scored in the 2nd. That one gets away now. Herbert can't keep it in front, and Atera to 3rd, a wide turn, but she will hold up there. Looks like the ball maybe lodged underneath the backstop. Herbert able to get it out, but able to throw the hands up just in time to make it a dead ball.
Just shows how quickly this game can change. We have runner on first, could be out of the inning with a ground ball. 2 pitches later, just a couple of balls that get away, and now, what is it, 11 or 19? Lots of different ways that you can score from third base. So Una Lennon will be looking to sort of find the seams now, make sure she's just checking in on that signal there from Artie Herbert, just really making sure that she can throw a strong pitch to the glove. We need a strong glove there from Artie Herbert. We see she's not quite pulling down on the ball. I'd be interested to see between games. I'd love to go out and see what the ball's doing, because in conditions, depending on where you are, the type of surface balls and the balls that you can use, they tend to either go soapy, they can go slimy, they can go heavy, you can get mud on them. So I'd be intrigued to see what they're dealing with out there, because it's not easy. Nice comeback there.
High strike call at the letters on a 2-0 pitch. Lennon needed that. Kalina looking for her first RBI of this World Cup competition. 2-1. Got a pitch to drive, and she did. Into center field. It'll be caught by Scatliff. Runner coming home. The throw is just up the line. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Kalina, as Natira comes home to score after the error at first and the pass ball. It is now a 6-0 Venezuela lead.
That is a nice drive there. Off the bat, I thought it was into the gap, but Scatlif's over there. I'm thinking if she got through that ball, she's gone for the big throw to miss the cutoff. There's no runner. We don't need to hold the runners from advancing. But again, that's another tactic that's going to have to change. No outfield balls are going to skip through to the plate on a bounce or two, so it's going to have to hit the cutoff.
Big hook on the first to Heredia there. It was a better pitch there from Lennon. Starting her off with that big 12-6 curveball. Heredia singled in a run, scored in the second inning. Venezuela with 5 in the second. They've added the lone tally here in the 6th. 2 away now with nobody on base. There's that breaking ball again. This one driven up the middle. That one gets past Davies at shortstop, and a 2-out knock for Heredia, her second of the night. She's 2 for 2, and we'll turn the lineup over to Gabriela Garcia for the 3rd time.
Loving the production out of Heredia in the 9-hole. That is absolutely fantastic. Like one of the youth players that we've seen that they've come here. They do have a lot of players returning. I think 14 players returning from that Pan American Championship side, and they've brought in a lot of youth across that tournament and this tournament. And from Heredia, we go to Gabriela Garcia, one of the 17-year-olds, is Artie Herbert. She will throw that over Traska's head. That's going to go down the right field line. We're going to see where the Heredia goes from first to third. She's put the wheels on, and she will head into third standing up. So just like they started this inning, runner on first with 1 out. Very, very quickly, that runner is on third base. And now another scoring opportunity with 2 out here for Venezuela.
Well, I was just going to ask the question, does Cindy Anzola put Heredia in motion? Because worst case is you've got the leadoff hitter hitting in the 4th inning, but Herbert helped her out. Boy, sailed the throw. You're just wondering how much the conditions are affecting Team GB tonight, as this one slapped the other way foul on a 1-0 pitch and leaving the counter ball and a strike.
Yeah, this game's all about making adjustments. If there's one thing you do, you have to make an adjustment. And Artie Herbert's got to find a way to pull that ball down. She's got to find a way to be accurate with her throws. And if it's maybe not throwing over as much, if it's just simply finding a seam, that's fantastic blocking there from Artie. So, look, she can block. We know she can catch. She, as we said, caught all games of the European Championships. She's an absolute fighter behind there, but she's just got to make an adjustment with how she's releasing the ball and maybe how much she's throwing it.
Two-1. Off speed, skied into right field. Rahman is there, makes the catch. And the 3rd inning, it comes to a close. But Venezuela add on. They get an RBI sacrifice fly from Yohilis Kalina. Let's go to the 4th inning. All Venezuela tonight, leading at 6-0. .53 pitches for Frandelis Garcia through 3 innings. Her team leading at 6-0 as we play in the top of the 4th inning. Game 1 of what we hope to be 15 over the next couple of days here at the Women's Baseball World Cup Tainan Group. Baseball that we thought never would come. A tournament that was supposed to start on Sunday morning local time, and here we are Tuesday night playing the tournament's first game. It's not for lack of trying, it is for lack of rain subsiding. We've had no less than probably 400 mils of rain in the last 48 hours, and this field, all things considered, is in exceptional shape. Certainly much slower than what it would play on a normal summertime night, but the main thing is we're playing baseball. A 1-1 to Malone off speed pitch that catches the inner edge, 1-2.
I'm so excited, not just because we're playing baseball, but we get to see matchups like this. And as I said, I'm excited. I've got my popcorn. I'm so excited to be here. But we've got Daria Malone up against Frandelis Garcia. They are two of the faces of their nations in women's baseball. And I just love the fact that we've got these superheroes, and that is a nice pitch on the outside corner of the plate there, just misses. But Frandelis Garcia, look, she was the most outstanding player at the World Cup a couple of years ago at the qualifiers. And Daria Malone, she was the tournament MVP at the Euros. And we're seeing the best of the best from the European League, from the South American League, and another great pitch here. Frandelis knows exactly who Daria is, and this is the future of our sport. And it's and again, great. She's got great written on the shirt. She's from the British Virgin Islands, along with Clarice Scatliff, and I am just so excited to see how global this game is going. It is just so great to see.
Nearly a spitting image of what we saw in this matchup back in the first inning. Malone fell behind in the count early, battled back to a 3-2 count. Ended up seeing 8 pitches in that battle in the first before walking with 2 outs. This one going much the same. Fell behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Has spat on a couple of tough pitches and now finds herself in a full count again. See if she can put herself aboard to lead things off here in the top of this 4th inning. 3-2 pitch. She did it again. Pitch missed. Must have been a 2-2 pitch.
I don't think Daria, either the score bug is wrong or Daria's not quite sure.
Oh, it is ball 4. It was Eva Moo was the one that had to tell her.
Quattro.
I think Malone wanted to get a hit so badly off of Frandelis Garcia that she said, "No, it's fine." Do you remember you may not remember this, the old Jose Ramirez a couple years ago in the big leagues when he was hit by a pitch.
Yeah.
And he was pleading with the home plate umpire to say, I want to hit. I don't want to go to first base. I want to hit. That's kind of, I think, what Daria Malone was doing there. I said, maybe if I don't go to first, they won't know it was ball 4. But she is aboard for the second time tonight. 2 walks, and here's Amy Trask.
Well, you don't have that signature color of pink and have all of that arm guard, leg guard, and batting gloves without wanting to get in there and swing that bat. But she takes first base. This is, as you said, Amy Trask. And yeah, maybe we'll get to see Daria swing the bat again later in this game.
Amy grounded out to first base to end the first inning. Left Malone at first. This one's popped up on a 1-0. That'll get out of play. I have to go look up that Jose Ramirez clip. I think it was a couple years ago. It clearly hit him on the back foot, and he falls to the ground and plays dead for about 10 seconds, and then gets up and pleads with the home plate umpire, trying to tell him that it didn't hit him.
See, I jumped out of the way. I'd like to say because I wanted to hit. It was more because I didn't want to get hit by the pitch. I was a bit of a wuss, but
I didn't want to get hit by pitches so bad I stayed in the booth. 1-1 taken high and away, 2 balls and a strike. Talk about you playing in 6 different women's baseball World Cups. I don't know that I've done one thing 6 times in my life, if I'm honest.
Yes, I did play 6. I played my first in the very first World Cup back in 2004. My last World Cup was in 2014, and had the privilege of playing in Venezuela at the Venezuelan World Cup in 2010, and that was an experience. We had 20,000 people to our games. It was absolutely amazing.
2-1, Trask letting it rip. Thought she might. Thinking she'd get something to hit, but it was up around the neck, and she took a chance. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garcia's got her right where she wants her. Through 3+, just the 1 hit allowed, 5 strikeouts for Garcia, looking for her 6th. This will be pitch number 64 on the night. The 2-2. Just missed. Pretty good pitch.
I feel Amy's looking a little nervous in the box. She's sucking in a lot of the breaths. And look, she led the team in average with a clip of 4.44 at the Euros. So she knows how she can hit. There's a reason that she's in at the cleanup spot. But I feel that she's just... It'd be easy, it'd be hard, so I should say it'd be hard not to get nervous out there, and definitely when you're facing Frandelis Garcia, I'm not sure I'm wanting to be jumping in the box.
3-2, got a fastball up in the zone, giving chase. It was Suarez, but she runs out of room. We'll do it again, 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's not to be understated how big a moment this is for this GB team. I mean, we talk about how businesslike Venezuela has been throughout this week, and you know, it's a team who has their eyes set on potentially winning a world title next year, certainly rattling the cage. But for Team GB, it's a much different story. A team that has fought and clawed to be here. They were 4th at the last qualifier, and they end up winning the Euros last year. I mean, just how far this team has come. So you can certainly understand if the gravity of the moment, some of these players is getting to them at certain times.
Well, I think looking at the scorebook here, this is a nice move here from Frandelis. Daria Malone, just a little bit on her heels there. Probably on the next one, she'll probably want to be in more of an athletic position there, and that will hit Amy on the elbow there to put runners on first and second now, none out. Something brewing for GB. But look, yeah, you talk about that feeling of being a rookie. I think we were all rookies at the very first World Cup, and we can see here Trask does not have an elbow guard on that elbow, so I think there's going to be a bit of a bruise there tomorrow. But yeah, look, we all turned up to the first World Cup in 2004, and there were 5 teams, and we were all rookies. So I guess we were all nervous. We had no idea as we see Cindy Anzola coming out to have a chat to Frandelis Garcia Suarez. We're going to have a bit of an infielders meeting, but yeah, it's such an interesting thing that, like, nerves, I think nerves are really good. I was as nervous in my first at-bat for Australia and to my last at-bat. I think if you don't have nerves, you're probably not, you don't need to be here anymore.
Yeah, that's it. If you don't have a heartbeat and a bit of feelings in times like this, when are you going to? Notably, it is indeed Sydney Anzola who comes out here, not Miguel Rivero, the pitching coach. Instead, the manager comes out, has a chat with the entire infield just to calm things a bit here. First real opportunity that Great Britain have had tonight. They have had base runners, but both prior to this have been with 2 outs. They've got them at first and second with nobody out for the middle of the order. And here's Chloe Scatliff. We know that she can do damage. One of the 2 British Virgin Island represented players on this British roster. The other is standing at second base. And the first is Scatliff, a good pitch, 117 Ks an hour. Garcia's been good when she can pitch from in front tonight. When she has got herself in trouble is when she falls behind.
And look, this just shows the respect that Cindy Anzola has and the Venezuelans have for Great Britain. We're into the 4th, and it's only 6-0. And people are probably listening going, Amy, it's 6-0. But we have to remember the infancy that the Great Britain program is in. And I think this week we have to look beyond the box scores. But right now, Great Britain's looking at the box score, looking at the runners in first and second, just going, you know what, why not us?
5 runs scoring on 4 errors in that second inning. So there hasn't been a lot between these 2 teams other than that last half of inning number 2. 1-1 to Scatliff. When this is low, 2 balls and a strike, and gets away, and the runners will advance. Suarez fell asleep for a moment behind home plates. Malone to third, Trask to second, and now a base hit from Scatliff could put 2 on the board for Great Britain.
Well, I'm not sure if I've ever seen this before, but Daria Malone was actually doing a bit of a dance right before Garcia threw that pitch. So I was thinking, is she quite switched on at second base? But I'm telling you, as soon as that ball went in the dirt, Daria Malone, you can see her dancing at second base there, and she takes the lead, and as soon as that ball was in the dirt, she saw it through the legs of Suarez, and she's in, and great base running from Trask to make sure they get out of a force-out situation. That's great base running, great situation if you're a GB fan up early in the morning.
And Scatliff loses the bat. I have to think the conditions probably had something to do with that. Everyone looks to be okay down that third baseline. Third base coach will grab the bat and we just dry off that handle. I'm surprised we actually haven't seen that until now tonight with the amount of condensation on the field. Scatliff with no batting gloves, so having to rely on the grip of the old fingertips and the fingerprints to keep hands on bat.
Got some old-fashioned baby powder in there.
2-2. Scatlif's just still drying off those hands. You can see her just left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. Despite a 6-0 deficit, that British dugout is up and about. 2-2. Breaking ball tapped into the glove of Suarez, and a big strikeout, the 6th for Garcia. And boy, did she need that. Maybe her biggest of the night. Pitched her way into a bit of trouble and left that pitch up, but Scatlif couldn't go get it. Strikeout number 6, one gone.
Yeah, it looks like I think Scatlif was expecting something else, and then she saw that high pitch. That was a bit of a late decision. I think she would have been rung up anyway if she hadn't swung. Let's bring up Danny Briggs.
Briggs swinging first pitch, spoiled that one foul off the netting. Danny flied out to right field when she came to the plate in the second, 0 for 1 tonight.
A bit of an Aussie shout out to Danny. She's actually from Australia.
A 1 pitch inside. Throw back behind the runner at third. That one gets away, and Team GB are going to be on the board for the first time in a Women's Baseball World Cup. It's Daria Malone who crosses home plate, and it's 6-1 here in the top of the 4th.
We saw Daria dancing at second base before she took the advance of that wild pitch. And if you watch her coming into the plate, once she knows she's going to be safe, she does a bit of a jig, bit of a silly dance there, and she is in. And GB's first run, Daria Malone. This is exactly why we saw Cindy Anzola come out before. Still 1 out, runner on second.
1-1, this one hit the other way. That one gobbled up by Saicedo. The only throws across the diamond, it gets away. And Amy Trask is going to saunter down to third base. Briggs stays put at first. Just a little bit of something brewing here for Great Britain. Venezuela have maybe taken their foot off the gas just that little bit here in the 4th. Saicedo with plenty of time. Took the runner back to second base, just couldn't get the throw to first. Fortunately for Venezuela, that ball didn't carry him too far away from Marilyn Yendez.
I think she had time, but I don't think she needed to have the time. I think sometimes when you pump a couple of times, and you may actually then get your arm, it looked like she had a bit of a tight arm. Amy Trask isn't probably one of the speedier runners on the GB team, and when you're up by 5 runs, and out to get to the second out is huge for Venezuela, because the situation now, we've still got 1 out and 2 runners on, and it's a 5-run lead, and in a game where the ball is being now thrown away by both teams, suddenly big innings in women's baseball can happen when conditions allow for it.
So here's Artie Herbert. You know she'd love to make up for a few of those errors. This one popped up to second base, easily played by Garcia. And Herbert's now 0 for 2 tonight. And the inning will be up to Caitlin Frank.
Yeah, probably would have liked to have seen Artie Herbert take a few more pitches in that at-bat just to keep Brandelis Garcia. Now the momentum switches straight across to the Venezuelan side now with 2 outs. So Caitlin Frank looking to try and see if she can knock in, just has to eke something through and they can score their second run as Danny Briggs. A bit scared of Danny Briggs over at first base there is Garcia. Just in this situation, you want to keep that force out situation in play. Is he out at second or make the play at first to end this inning?
2 outs in the 4th. This will be the 77th pitch of the night for Brandelis Garcia. And the first to Frank, misses high and away on a fastball. You can just see that velo starting to drop a little bit as well. She was 122, 123 to begin the ball game. That fastball now sort of in the 115, 116 range. So she might just be running out of puff. You know, Cindy Anzola would love to get her through the 4th. Potentially only needing to cover 1 more defensive inning. And if nothing else, some of the opposition in this tournament might be thanking Great Britain for tiring out Brandelis Garcia, making her go into the 80s in terms of pitch count tonight.
Well, we go back to the earlier discussion around the tactics with this shortened tournament now, which looks like the tournament could be the same amount of time we lost, 55 hours. We might be playing games well into the early hours of the morning. And I'd be thinking whether Cindy Anzola wanted to keep Frandelis Garcia down around the 50-55 to ensure her to be able to come out for another day. But I feel that even if she comes through this, maybe at 80-80, we will see her again. I think we'll see her again probably on day 5, which is day 3, which is Thursday.
Just makes it tough to come back with only 1 day's rest after throwing 80 pitches. I mean, you could do it in Game 5 from Game 1 with 3 days rest as originally scheduled, but with the jam-packed version of this schedule, it makes it difficult.
Yeah, I think this inning here has, if that was the strategy from Venezuela, I think that's now gone out the window. But perhaps that also shows the respect that Venezuela has. They would be looking at this game. This is a must-win game. This is one they would have looked at and put down going, this is a must-win. So when it's a must-win, you cannot do anything to possibly lose it. And that's, I think, why they've kept her on the mound there. And that's a great pitch there. She has found the bottom of the zone again. We know Frandelis Garcia. We know the power she has, particularly on the bottom half of that strike zone now. With full count, 2 out, 2 on. Caitlin Frank looking to keep this lineup ticking over.
3-2 went back to the high fastball, and that has been the friend of Frandelis Garcia tonight. Been to bit in the 4th inning, but did not break. North of 80 pitches, but she gets out of it. GB do score a run midway through 4. Venezuela leading it 6-1.
这是由委内瑞拉队领先的 Gran。
4局下半，委内瑞拉的进攻，打击轮到第2棒 ，batting second number 14, Asdina Cis.
Una Lennon back out for another inning of work in relief of Laura Harai, her 2nd inning of work. And will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Venezuela leading 6-1, 3 outs away from an opening day victory, which is a funny thing to say on the 3rd scheduled day of this tournament, but such has been the reality of our lives in Tainan the last couple of days.
3rd scheduled night, in fact.
Is it nighttime? We might as well just continue playing. It'd be like one of those old school carnivals of baseball. Just play through the nights, through the day. Who needs sleep? This is the coffee capital of Taiwan. Something tells me we might need plenty of it the next.
It's the baseball capital. It's the
next 48
It is the coffee
hours.
capital I'm here for. It's the women's baseball capital at the moment. And big inning here for Una Lennon. We saw Great Britain put one on the board in the top of the 4th. And I feel like they probably feel like they should have got more. I think if Una, she's been pitching well, but leaving that big hook up in the strike zone. If you leave that hook up in the strike zone, Venezuela are going to attack. She can get it down. As we see... Just a bit of a discussion here. Just checking what the count is. If Una can really keep it down, if Artie can give her that low target and keep it down, you can't do damage. Or you can do less damage down in the zone, but we saw that previous inning. Venezuela took advantage of those balls that just stayed up in the zone.
2-1 on Srishna Archinega, who has singled and scored so far tonight. Venezuela with just the 5 base hits. Look, they have been aided For the 5 errors committed by Team GB tonight, Venezuela have committed 2 of their own. So not the cleanest game defensively, but not necessarily unexpected either with the conditions that these two teams are playing in tonight. 3-1 way down and miss. There's that big hook.
That's what I'm talking about right there. The previous pitch she left up, and that next pitch there kind of rolls off the inside corner of the table, and she had a little sneaky smile. I think she knows that that was a pitcher's pitch. You can do a few more of those. That's why GB won a gold medal at the Euros, with this lefty on at the hill.
3-2. She tried to go back to it. Same pace, but that one she left up, and Arciniega walks to begin the 4th inning. Second time that she's been aboard tonight. And Kimberly Cecido, who is the only Venezuelan player not to reach base tonight, will stand in. Has grounded out on a pair of occasions to short in the first and to first in the second inning. 0 for 2 tonight. And the hook to her, the first to Lennon. This one misses low and inside. Trying to throw that sort of to the back foot. Maybe treating it somewhat like a slider against right-handers. Tried to throw that at the back foot of Cecido, but it just missed inside. Looks like she almost exclusively going to that curveball. This one left up. Runner goes. The throw down, not in time. It's a stolen base for Arciniega.
Yeah, interesting. Venezuela, they've only got 1 lefty on their team, lefty thrower, and GB have 3. So I wonder how much that they're used to facing lefties. It is very different, and very different depending on what type of lefty. As we said, that big breaking ball just hitting the inside. It's almost like it's hitting the inside of your back foot ankle.
2-0 pitch. Missing as well. Now 3 balls and no strikes. Herbert getting rid of that baseball after falling into the dirt. And Lennon not doing yourselves any favors here. After walking the leadoff hitter, fought her way back to a full count, but is 3-0 on Cecido with the dangerous Marilyn Yendez waiting on deck. 3-0. Cecido taking all the way. Takes a called strike.
Shout out to the Essex Baseball Club if you're tuning in. Your own Una is on the hill. A few of the Essex girls in this team. Not sure anyone would have thought that Essex would be being referenced at a Baseball World Cup anytime soon.
3-1, that one was left up, and we'll get into the stands where a few of the fans are situated. It's nice to see people in the crowd tonight. We've gotten used to staring at an empty set of bleachers throughout the last couple days at the ballpark. That fan's got a souvenir he can take home.
Go get Una to sign it. Yeah, look at it. It's after 9 o'clock here at night, and I think there's so many people who just want to see baseball in this area. I know we wanted to see the outside of our hotel room. That's all I needed to see this week. So, no, it's fantastic to see. And who knows how many games we'll see tonight. But right now, if I was one of the teams in a hotel room, I wouldn't care if I had to play at 2 a.m. I would be out, because I would be going stir crazy in the car parks and in the hotel foyers.
3-2 to Cecido. That one jammed her a bit to shortstop. Davies will have to hurry. The throw not in time. And Arciniega advancing to third with a wide turn, but he'll stay put there. It'll go as an infield single for Cecido. Getting a look at just how slow that infield is playing. That one did jam the right-hander somewhat, but once this ball hits the infield grass, it's going to slow up immensely, and that's exactly what Saskia Davies had to deal with there.
Yeah, I think the approach from a shortstop in this ground, particularly if it's going to bounce closer to the batter than it is to you, on this ground, it looks fairly even. Despite the fact that it's wet, it looks really even between where the grass and the lip join. My approach as the shortstop in this field, I would be trying to field the ball on the grass. But we're going to actually see, I think GB are actually challenging this. It looked out to me, but I think over there, I think Saskia's like...
Well, just on that replay that we got, it definitely looked like she was safe in live time. That slow motion replay that we got a moment ago, it looked a lot closer on the replay than what it did in live time. It was certainly bang bang. I think Cecido probably did beat it to the bag, but the fact that Great Britain are going to elect to challenge it tells me maybe it was closer than we thought. Have a look at it here. Yeah, she's definitely safe by an instant. But it was close. And look, in this situation, if you're Team GB trying to get the first out and avoid a big inning, there's maybe just the lack of extension there from Amy Trask that maybe could have made all the difference. Trask sort of waiting for the baseball to come to her. If she extends out to make that catch, probably makes it a lot closer. But from what we've seen there, it looks like this will be upheld.
Yeah, it kind of looks like she was standing there waiting to stretch but didn't quite stretch. I think that really is a routine ground ball there. I feel that we'll wait to see the umpire here. They will confirm that it is safe. I feel that if Davies had that time again, she will charge that and Trask will stretch out, and I think that becomes a bang-bang play, not even the other way.
So a tough task here for Lennon is put the first two on, one via the walk, another an infield base hit. And now here's the dangerous Marilyn Yendez, hit by a pitch last time she came to the plate, looking for her first hit of this Women's Baseball World Cup. First to her, there's that good breaking ball. Runner goes from first, and they won't even bother. They'll give Cecito second base without a throw.
Now, I will make mention, if we have a look at the bat that Yendez is using, it looks like it's been around the world a few times. We see a lot of the newer bats. They're very, very colourful. They have a lot of pop, the bats these days, and we saw Yendez hitting absolute bombs or front.
Off the end of the bat, that'll die in left center. It'll score at least one. RC Nega's in. They are sending Cecito, and it's cut off at short. It'll be a 2 RBI single for Marilyn Yendez. And the Pan American MVP drives in a pair in her first World Cup game, and it's 8-1 Venezuela.
That is a nice piece of hitting. Going down and getting it there. Nice clean play there from Clowry, but Cecito, she can run. She was off the bat. She was running like it was 2 out off the bat there. There was no stopping her. Great base running all night here from Venezuela. I think we may be having another pitching change here for the British side.
And Pietro Solicito is going to come out and make a change by the looks here. So the night has come to a close for Una Lennon, who maybe had a little bit of bad luck. 3-2 pitch that didn't go her way on a walk. A bang-bang play at first base that led to a single. 2 runs have come home to score, but she is in high spirits as she gets back to the dugout. And Great Britain are going to have to go to the bullpen again for their 3rd arm of the night.
I think Una Lennon needs to be really proud of what she's done there. She showed the world exactly why she's the gold medal starter for the European Championships for this Great British side. And as we see the 2 starters there, 2 of the biggest names in Great British women's baseball, and they've got to be happy with what they're doing. This powerful offense of Venezuela, they've only got 8 runs, and you look at what Una Lennon had done, and a few pitches just missing up, and that infield hit there. In baseball, it can really hurt you if people take advantage of any inch. They will take a mile. As we see Laura Bales on the hill, one of the absolute leaders of this team. Laura, part of that European Championship winning side. She's one of the most experienced at this tournament is how I will put it, but a fantastic leader on and off the field for the British side. She's got 20-plus years, part of the foundation cornerstone of British baseball over there. And Great Britain baseball would not be here without the people like Laura Bales, so fitting that she gets to jump on the hill. Another one of the lefties.
First pitch to Suarez, misses high and inside. Can't quite close the book just yet on Lennon. She is still responsible for Yendez at first base. 32 pitches, 1 inning plus, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, and 2 walks. So the 1-0 misses as well. 2 balls and no strikes on Suarez, who has reached a pair of times. The first on an error in the 2nd inning and reached on a force in the third. Matter of fact, was the final out of the inning. Was the 10th hitter to come to the plate in the third inning. 2-0 pitch, taking all the way. Misses outside, 3-0. Be unable to wipe the smile off of Una Lennon's face. Don't tell her that there was 3 runs across the plate. She is having the time of her life on the mound tonight as the 3-0 misses high and inside. And a 4-pitch walk to Suarez will put him at first and second base. And it's danger areas now for Great Britain. Nobody out here in the 4th inning. A 7-run lead. 3 more runs crossing this inning. Great Britain won't get the opportunity to hit in the 5th. So if you're Great Britain now, you just want to limit damage and give yourself a chance to get back into the dugout and swing the sticks in the 5th inning.
That's a better pitch there from Laura Bales. She's obviously got that gravity pitch that's got to come in and really got to extend out there. She's got to change her focal point. So 4 pitches high and outside. Good response there to open this up.
Angulo sees the 0-1 in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Reached on a force in the 2nd and probably had the hardest hit ball that we have seen all night, leading off the 3rd inning, but nothing to show for it. It was an excellent play by Caitlin Frank in left field, a robber of extra bases. A big swing here, bouncing ball to second. Briggs will go to second for 1. The turn in time, and they got her. Huge double play, turned by GB. Venezuela will score a run, but 2 huge outs turned by the middle infield of Great Britain. And there's 2 away now in the 4th inning. Picture perfect by this middle infield.
Yeah, we see Briggs to Davies to Trask for Great Britain's first double play. That is absolutely fantastic. And Davies having to navigate there, the runner not sliding. So just quickly as that, the threat, it still exists over at third base. But that is a huge couple of outs as Great Britain do not want to get to that 10-run deficit. They want to keep it within grasp. As we said, they want to come out, and that looks like
gets away. Yendez coming home. It could be bang-bang at the plate, but the throw is late. And Yendez does come home to score. Unable to score on that ground ball. She stayed put at third, but it's the fruits of her labor here. It's 9-1 Venezuela in a 3-run 4th inning now. Perhaps most importantly for Team GB, the bases are clear.
I was about to say, it's a reset opportunity now for Great Britain and importantly for Laura Bales. So they'll be looking at the fact that they had a lot more runs on the board, did Venezuela, and that double play snuffed that out. So
2-0, there's a base hit with 2 outs. Natera's second base hit tonight. She's been aboard all 3 times that she's come to the plate in this World Cup opener. Bales leaving a lot of these pitches up, seeing some hard swings on the bottom half of this Venezuelan order. And the part of the order that has done most of the damage tonight. It's not as though you can get to the 7, 8, and 9 spots in this order and rest on your laurels. The bottom has really fed the top in a lot of ways for this Venezuelan side tonight. Check on the runner at first, perhaps expecting that Natera may be off with 2 outs. Here's Yohelis Kalina, who has walked and scored. Has also driven in a run on a sac fly. That was an inning ago in the 3rd. And they may have the runner picked off here. The throw to second. Is it in time? It is. Good work by the infield of Team GB. They turn a double play. They pick off Mariana Natera, and they live to fight another inning. Let's go to the 5th. Team GB fired up.
And on this inning, the score now is 9-1.
这个半局首先要上场打击的是第9棒 batting knife number 4 Samia Rahman。
Well, anything to keep cool on a muggy Tuesday night. It is only 26 degrees, but 95% humidity necessitates the hand fan to keep a bit of that air moving. As Great Britain will have one final shot. It's the 9-1 and 2 spots. Rahman just gets a piece on a 0-2. Frandelis Garcia is out to try and finish what she has started. She begins the inning with 82 pitches. And is ahead in the count, 0-2 on Samia Rahman, who is 0 for 1 tonight. Flied out to right back in the third. And the 0-2 to her. And spoiled foul off toward the right side. Amy, let's go back to the final out of the 4th inning. And you saying it is a tactic that's being employed a lot in women's baseball now. Is Mariana Natera just wanted to do everything she could to beg a throw and essentially ask questions of the Team GB defense, as this one's knuckled foul off toward the right side. She asked the questions, and to Great Britain's credit, they were able to execute for the 3rd out of the inning.
Yeah, you want to look at percentage plays, and when you've got a left-handed there, and obviously Bales isn't throwing with speed to first base, if she picks off, the tactic there from Venezuela would have been, as soon as she makes the movement to throw, as soon as she throws the ball to Amy Trask, she's running, because Amy then has to catch, she has to throw, she has to field, she has to make that play at second base, and that was absolute textbook. Even though she went on Bales' move, Bales to Trask to Davies was absolutely on the money, and you saw them celebrate because, yeah, it's a new tactic that everyone's starting to employ, and Great Britain went not on our watch.
1-2, that one shot into the British dugout. Looks like everyone's okay down there.
I'm loving this GB energy. If you turned up to this field right now, if you're one of the fans up here at 9:30 at night, you probably wouldn't know if there wasn't such a huge scoreboard with faces, and that's a brilliant scoreboard out there. You wouldn't know who was in front.
1-2, Garcia goes to the breaking ball, but it stayed up. Count even 2-2.
And on that opening day, which felt like a month ago, I was speaking to the Great British side, and I was just saying, look, one thing I will guarantee you is that Venezuela will be the loudest team here, so make sure you're louder than them. And I think they are. They're challenging. This would be one of the loudest games to watch as Rahman strikes out swinging there for the first out. Strikeout
number 8 for Frandelis Garcia. We were just talking about it in the top of the 4th inning, whether or not Cindy Anzola tries to hold Garcia back for any potential need a couple days from now. I think we have our answers to whether or not we will see Frandelis Garcia more than once in this tournament. That answer would be no, but Anzola giving her a chance to finish what she started, as this one's lined into right center and a roll for the Wild. Harai with her 2nd base hit on the day. She's headed to second. The throw in is late, and it's a double for Laura Harai. What can't she do? Started the game atop the mound. She's got both British base hits, and Team GB have a base runner with one away in the 5th.
Laura Harai, there is hardly a record she doesn't own for the GB women's baseball program. She was the first to pick up the ball on the mound for GB at a World Cup. She got the first hit. She got the first stolen base. She now has the first extra base hit. And she got the first celly there. Look at that.
Not afraid of a celly, is she? We saw the one in the delayed steal a couple innings ago. It's easy to see why Boston picked her up in the late stages of that WPBL draft. Of course, didn't make her way to the United States to play in that competition. Wouldn't be surprised if we see her at some point, though, playing that WPBL in her career. I mean, she is
I think
just 26 years of age, so still has a bit of time left on her side. I wouldn't be surprised at all if maybe we do see her in North America playing in that competition next year.
I think we will. I think obviously that is into its 4th or 5th week over in Springfield. I had the fortune, as we see the umpires taking a tumble, hopefully.
Told you it was dangerous around that area, Amy. I wasn't lying.
Shout out to all
I wasn't lying.
The
there is a lot of standing water still around. And unfortunately, Eva Mu, the umpire from Hong Kong, fell victim to that. And she may not be the first tonight. She won't be she may have been the first. I don't know that she'll be the last. This one's thrown behind the base runner. Harai is able to get back in time. 1-1 now on Saskia Davies hitting for the 3rd time, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
Talking about first, Laura Harai was the first ball girl for the New York Yankees in history. She was a ball girl at the London game a few years ago. Pretty cool.
1-1, waved at and missed.
But yeah, just going back to that WPBL, I think there's a lot of players at this World Cup that I think would have and we would like to see and expect to see at that WPBL, but it is going on at the moment. It's been going on for 4 or 5 weeks. I did go down to the opening round, so if it doesn't clash with the World Cup next year, as we see Garcia just sneaky little step off there, yeah, hopefully we'll see a lot of these players in the WPBL in years to come.
1-2, skied into center. Should be playable, though, for RC Nega. Makes the catch, and they will tag, but Harai is, she's going to make it in. It's dropped by Sacedo. Throw beater there, but Harai very fortunate not to have been doubled off, which would have ended the ball game. RC Nega's throw was on the money. Big smile on her face, but Sacedo just couldn't hang on to the baseball. Wouldn't that have been a way to punctuate a win for Venezuela?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of Laura's strategy there, because I think if it was a throw on the money, she was out. If she'd grabbed that ball, she was out. But it doesn't matter now. It's in the scorebook, and Daria Malone up with all of that bling. Signature colour is looking good tonight.
Birds to Malone off speed, misses high and inside. Yeah, maybe even more curious to try and take the extra base with Malone coming to the plate. She has walked on a couple occasions tonight. We know the power that she possesses. Has scored the lone run for Team GB tonight, and their first in a Women's World Cup competition. Took a called strike here, didn't like it, leaving the count 1-1. The type of player where you never really have to wonder what she's thinking, right? Like, you never have to go, Daria, I wish you'd tell us what's going on in your head. You can see it with her body language. She's been a lot of fun to watch tonight.
I'm a fan. I want to get her autograph.
Oh, and she's hit by a pitch here. And that's going to sting. Garcia got her with a fastball, and Malone's not happy about it. Sort of got her in the upper part of the back. And she's in a bit of strife.
Yeah, fastball just getting away from Garcia there, and that is in probably the 3rd or 4th rib there, and that would sting no matter who is on the mound there, and that's probably a good mid-70s mile-an-hour fastball right there, and I don't think Malone was too happy with Garcia there. I'm sure there was nothing behind that. I think maybe Daria Malone is taking exception to Garcia. I think obviously there was a bit of a carry on, I would say, from Malone that previous pitch, saying she wasn't very happy there was a strike, and maybe Garcia hasn't taken exception to that, but I think everyone's okay. Bit of energy in this game right now, and I'm telling you now, Andrew, I am all here for it. This is good stuff.
Well, Malone's done a really good job of sort of sparking a bit of fire into this Team GB side tonight, and you can just see that in her. A lot of times players, when they have that amount of energy and fire in them, it's hard to turn that off, and Cindy Anzola's not going to take any chances here. She's going to take the baseball away from Frandelis Garcia, who rightfully so gets plenty of hugs and hand pounds from her infield, so she won't have the opportunity to finish what she started tonight, but certainly deserves all the praise in the world. 5 2/3, just the 2 hits, both coming from Laura Harai. The 1 run, it was unearned, and 8 strikeouts, as the Venezuelan team is off of the pine to celebrate her in what will be a Venezuelan victory. But Cindy Anzola probably didn't want to have to break glass in case of emergency on that bullpen tonight, but just some of those wayward pitches coming off the hand of Frandelis Garcia, she's forced to go to the bullpen here.
Yeah, and we can see down the line Malone's still sort of walking it off a bit. I am sure that there is a bit of an ego bump. There is definitely a rib bump, and I think there might be a pinch runner up there. It might be Bethelisa de la Paz, mother of 3 no less, is de la Paz, and we can see, yeah, look, Daria Malone, she's definitely someone, we've got some players who, they wear their heart in their sleeve. There is no, as you said before, no questioning what they are thinking or feeling out in the field. And then there is other players who are completely, you cannot read it all. And Daria's that one. She'll have to calm down. So I think she's now going to switch it over. She's going to come off. De La Paz is into pinch run.
Well, the other thing I guess we'll keep an eye on with
that shit was on purpose. Nobody got to tell me that.
Daria Malone, and you can hear her still animated. She's picking up on our effects mic. The one thing to keep in mind is, like, she still looks to be in some strife, and we don't know what the schedule looks like for tomorrow, but it will be a quick turnaround. And you hope if it is a rib, maybe somewhere on the upper part of that back, you hope she's able to get some treatment tonight and she doesn't miss any time for it. Certainly be a shame, not only for her, but for all of us in this tournament. Orianes Hernandez is the new pitcher. The 27-year-old righty will come in to try and get the final out of the ball game for Venezuela. And will face the righty Amy Trask, who is grounded out, been hit by a pitch tonight. She's 0 for 1. Swings first pitch, pops it up. Suarez giving chase, but a run out of room, 0-1.
Yeah, with that hit to the ribs there, that's the kind of thing that could end up hurting tomorrow night or the next morning. It's something she's not going to feel from adrenaline, I don't think, right now, but she'll feel it soon. But fun fact, Orianes Hernandez actually played her first World Cup in my last World Cup, 2014, in Miyazaki in Japan. She was 15.
I was going to say she was a sprightly teenager back then. Not to age you at all, Amy. That wasn't my intention at all. That was just fact. I was just it was a fact.
It's okay.
0-2 pitch, and that one got Trask.
No,
they're going to call it a foul ball.
I think they're going to call her back in there. I think her elbow may have wandered over the plate. Yeah. Oh no, they are
going to call it a hit by pitch.
Which means
looks like Laura Harai is going to have to go back to third base, and she definitely did reach out the elbow. I would have thought that maybe they would call her back. Amy Trask is going to have to get an elbow guard. It's the second time she's been hit on that elbow tonight, and she doesn't have any sort of protection on it. And Cindy Anzola is going to come ask the same question of Eva Mu as we were asking.
Yeah.
And it's just going to go get a little bit of guidance from the first base umpire, Min-Soo Kim, maybe had a better look at it. Second base umpire, Alessia Sione, is going to come in as well.
This is something that the World Baseball Softball Federation umpires are very, very onto at a World Cup. I have seen this a number of times. I've seen it both for players on the Australian team. I've seen it for players against us. They will be very, very on people staying inside. Like, you don't have to get out of the way of the ball if it comes through the batter's box, but you cannot make an attempt to move your body out of your natural position to get it in the way of the ball coming at you. So for me, as soon as I saw that elbow move, I would have been calling time. And I believe that's what, I know the umpire called time.
Pietro Solecito is certainly not happy with the explanation that he's been given. I mean, you can understand his frustration. His player was hit by a pitch. But I think us, by virtue of having the replay to look at it, you can certainly say that Amy Trask was fishing for a hit by pitch. It was nothing like the previous one earlier in the ball game. And I think Cindy Anzola is...
I think Cindy's trying to say, hang on, Laura needs to go back to third and La Paz needs to go back to second.
They've all sort of gotten confused as to where they were on the base pass. Laura Harai is nowhere to be found.
Laura
at the
is
moment.
doing a Houdini of the best caliber here. She has quickly scooted home and into the dugout. I think she's actually in the bus on the way back to the hotel. Cindy's just double checking exactly what happens here. I mean, she's checking what it is. So is it a ball or is it a strike? The umpires need to make a decision here. Is it if it's not a dead ball because she doesn't get a hit by pitch, is it a strike or is it a ball? Now, technically, did it go through the batter's box or did it go to the strike zone? So it's 0-2 now. So they've at this point, we believe they've given it a strike.
So I guess the run is allowed to score as well because Laura Harai is in the dugout. She came across to score, so it is a 9-2 ball game. Great Britain are a strike away from this ball game being over.
Yes, because it's not a dead ball. It's considered a pitch that's got away. It's a pass ball. It's a wild pitch. So yeah, Laura Harai, great piece of base running there to get the second run.
Hernandez trying to finish things off. They will throw behind the runner. De La Paz back to second base. It is an odd one because you see somebody hit by a pitch, the entire defense's initial reaction is to stop because you think it's going to be a dead ball. But in the continuation of play, Harai's allowed to score, and Hernandez trying to finish things off. A 1-2 pitch. Tapped into the mid of Suarez, and that will do it. Trask strikes out, and Venezuela will be victorious in the first game of this 2026 Women's Baseball World Cup. Tie non-group, 9-2 the final in an abbreviated game. It ends in 4.5 innings, 9-2. Venezuela win it. We will have more baseball coming up. Japan and the Philippines will be our second game of the night. Stay tuned wherever you're joining us from. Alongside Amy McCann, my name's Andrew Reynolds. It's been a pleasure bringing this one to you. We'll be back before you know it. Stay tuned.